Wednesday. You overwhelmed at this stage of the semester? Is the room spinning? Okay, well, here's a few good points. We only have 3 more face-to-face class meetings, so you get sort of the last half of the semester to finish up your work and activity, so that'll be good. So it looks like you're off to a good start on everything. I know you may be just feeling a little stress, as we all are. Well, welcome to mid-September. Mid to late September kind of goes like that. So let's talk about what we're doing today. So today we're going to do some best practices of networking, the rationale for why you network, and let's correct some practices and make sure you know some of those. Shaking hands, eye contact, where to put the name tag, how to join a group. But sometimes you get stuck with a bad group and you're saying, oh, I see some executives over there I need to see. How do you respectfully leave a business group? How do you circle back with the contacts you've made? So we're going to talk about that. Then remember, next week during class time, we've invited several business guests who are going to come for you to network. So that's when you're going to wear your business attire, your boardroom attire, for you to interact with them. And I've even got a little budget for some snacks for us. So sometimes it's difficult to negotiate shaking hands, holding a drink, holding a brownie, saying your name correctly. So let's go ahead and spill it out here, and let's go ahead and make a mess and figure it out before it comes time to really do it, and it really does matter. Okay, so that's next week. That's a mandatory class meeting for you. Then week 8, we've got Marianne Sasser from Shaw coming. Professor Sasser teaches our Staffing and Professional Development course, and she teaches our HR course. She's an HR director at Shaw, and she's going to go over that STAR method, you know, where you have a situation, you tell how you manage that situation, what the results are. That STAR method is used a lot in interviewing. They call it lots of different things, but since it's very popular in the area, most of us are going to live, work, and stay in the area. It's important that you know that. You got a little taste of it when Shannon DeBoof came, you know, and brought our student who did a little example of that. Then October 10th, Dr. Dietrich is going to come in and teach you a bit about time management. We've got some good slides on that, because I think as an executive, how to manage your time gets really critical. And then Dr. Williams is going to come and talk to you about how to clean up your social media. So if you've got some photos and activities on social media, and everybody's going to Google you, so we need to clean up Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever is out there. We need to practice Googling ourselves and see what's out there we might need to clean up, because while I hope they're going to go to LinkedIn and that's all you're giving them, we know that's not true. They're going to do background checks. They're going to do lots of various checks, and so it's important to you to know what's out there on the internet about you. Then after October 17th, we don't have any other formal class meetings, so we'll go to the farm. You've chosen a day, right? Has everybody logged in and picked a day to go to the farm? Good. And then we do have our last class, but it's just sort of a party and see how far we've come. So that's on December 5th. So there is a little relief in sight. But let's talk today about networking success. So Dalton, we're going to go through these pretty good. So I think I've sort of talked to you about what our goals are today for networking. You can click on. There you go. Okay, so we're going to define it, justify it, and we're going to talk about network jitters and mostly networking in person. It's a little bit easier to network when you're doing it online, right? But it's harder in person. So that's what our task is today. Okay, so what is it? You're building relationships and connections. Do you need them now? Probably not. Will you need them in the future? Who knows? It's a small world. It really is. I know Disney's got a ride about that, but it is pretty small. You may circle back and you may need these people in the future. You may hire them. They may hire you. It's crazy how things work. But it's not just grabbing business cards and collecting names and seeing, oh, I'm going to meet the most people at this event. That's not it. It's more the quality of the connections. They need to get to know you. You need to get to know them. So it's a bit like an interview in that respect as you're learning about each other. Okay, so why do we need these networks? We may need some information. Hey, I need a quick answer to a question. How can I improve productivity? Can I share resources? And most people communicate through the people in their network. They say you're the product of the 5 people you spend the most time with, too. Did you know that? I don't know, I got to thinking about that. Maybe we need to upgrade a little, right? Okay, all right. So, how do you improve your skills? These are really important. They take a little practice. My husband owns a pest control business, and he always needs to network. He's always looking for customers. And sometimes he'll go to networking events, and I had to do a little coaching to him. And oh, goodness, he hates that badly, as you might suspect. But he'll say, God, look at those good shrimp, and I'm starving, I didn't get any lunch. And he goes and starts just filling up from the buffet line and filling up a plate. And I said, Lee, not going to do that. I'm going to give you a snack before we leave home, or you're going to get a snack after, because your best way to get a customer is get somebody with their mouth full and you talk to them, not the other way around. So I think you can't be distracted by the sugary treats and the nice expensive shrimp and crab legs at some of these events. You've got to figure out, I know, terrible. Maybe after the fact, right? We get a to-go box. Okay, so you're going to grow your village. You're going to send these new contacts an email. Just I like a repeating event in Outlook. I had a little coaching yesterday from the development office. That's who does the fundraising. And they said, you need to reach out to your alums, send them a happy birthday card, make sure you call your donors on your birthday. And I'm thinking, oh, wow, that's right, isn't it? Follow your contacts on social media. You've changed jobs, tell them about it. You got a promotion, you did a report, tell them about that too. Questions? All right. Okay, so what's a professional network? Hopefully it's a social group. You're focused on interactions and business relationship. These are not really your personal friends, unless they've got a boat, right, or a house in the mountains. Then we'll work on them as personal friends so we can go visit. But these are mostly business connections that can mentor your career, sponsor you, and guide you as you go along. So we're going to try to build some relationships before you need them, share some contacts, maybe get some fresh ideas, some professional help. So there's a lot of reasons to network with these folks. Okay, Dalton. All right, they can help you get known personally and professionally. A lot of people are using LinkedIn and some of these networks online to find new business partners, to sell items, to buy items, collaborate, get some constructive feedback, get some recommendations, and find a job. A lot more people are finding jobs through their contacts. They're not finding them through jobs in the paper. That's really old school. And even some of these monster boards, these job consolidators, they don't find them there either. Okay, why it's important to make sales contacts if you're selling, learn about your field. 70%, that's how many find jobs through networking. The economy's tough right now. You may be in a position, you may be an HR person at your company. You got to find some new employees. Maybe you're going to promote yourself, or maybe you're looking for somebody to mentor you. Always a good idea to find somebody that way. So the more people you know, the more people you can influence, but you've got to get outside of people like you. So I suspect your network right now is primarily a lot of students. A lot of the folks in this room, a lot of your friends, they're in the same state as you are. So what you need is you need some younger friends, maybe a freshman who needs a little guidance and a little mentoring from you about the ropes, about what it means to be a student. Maybe you need some older career professionals in the field you want to go with to give you some guidance. So you need some diversity in age and gender, in every way you can achieve diversity, but particularly in stage of the career. That's what I want to push you to, is meet some people further along. Say, I really want to be an HR manager. Tell me how you started. Did you take the certification exams? How long did it take you to progress? What kind of things should I be doing now? Can I go with you to a professional meeting? Will you introduce me so I can look for a job? Those sorts of things. So you need these resources from outside the company. But it's not just about selling or getting a job or getting a donation. You really have to start and get to know people. I mean, it's a cultural thing. Let's get to know you first before then we go for the ask. Okay. Don't just schmooze. It's not to get something, so you're going to try to be a benefit too. So a lot of times, professionals further along in their career want to network with you. Why? You can talk to them about millennials in the generation that follow you. You can talk more about technology, how you like to communicate, how they might find customers online. Every time I go out in the community, and I might just stop at Schlotzsky's to grab a sandwich, if I've got a logo shirt on or happen to leave my name tag on and forget it, somebody invariably comes up to me and says, gosh, I wish I knew more about social media marketing. Okay, that might be something you could help them with. You were more of an expert at that than they. So you've got some things to give too. Don't think you don't. All those things we've put on the resume. Okay? So here's why you want these people. Just as I mentioned, you want the elders, the senior people in the network, people with diversity, people with similar research background, goals, major, and then just sort of a sounding board. So you need lots of different people in your social network that you're doing for business purposes. All right, so initial contacts and secondary. Have you poked around in LinkedIn enough to be a little bit more savvy? So it'll say, okay, you've connected to Marilyn Helms at Dalton State, but she also knows these other people. Do you want to connect to her secondary connection? So sometimes maybe you want a job at Amazon, and you want to be in charge of the logistics there and just manage that whole process. And you see, well, golly, Helms has a contact that she knows through her production and inventory control club that she belongs to. Let me call her and see if she'll introduce me to that person so I can make an Amazon connection. So just as you do in Facebook, those second and third tier connections, I might have an introduction for you, and vice versa. You may have one that I need. So key contacts, those are people who could help you, but you don't know them yet. Let's put yet in air quotes. Okay, the bigger your network, the more funding, the more customers, the more employees, the more partners, the more advice. Who's thinking about starting your own business and not going to work for a company in the future? Any budding entrepreneurs in here? Maybe. This may be a way for you to find a business partner, an employee, who knows? Okay, first of all, get out. You can't network sitting in your office, and an online presence is very important. But that's not all. You've got to do some of this face-to-face. And it's hard to do. It's hard to walk up to people, introduce yourself. If sweat's not rolling down the back of your hot business suit after you do this, there's something wrong with you, because everybody's nervous. You go touch your back and see if I'm not right. Okay, let's talk about in-person networking. Okay, sometimes it can be really spontaneous. You might network with somebody in the grocery store. I've heard more people tell me they ride the Groom shuttle from the Atlanta airport or the Nashville airport to Dalton or Chattanooga, and they meet lots of business people and strike up a connection. You may be sitting next to them on a plane. You may meet them at your work. Those are great too, just during your normal life and encounters, but some of them are planned. And so what we're forcing you into in this course to get you some practice is some of these deliberate, planned conferences, networking events. Go to Rotary, go to Kiwanis, go to a business group within your field so you know what that's about. Good places, Chamber of Commerce events, because a lot of folks are there to network. You won't be alone. Any sort of trainings, alumni events. I'm inviting all the Wright School of Business alumni for the past 20 years to a basketball game in February. I'm inviting you as well. You'll get to see some alumni. That's a great group. They already have some similar interests. Business, Dalton State, basketball, right? You got 3 things to talk to them about, and you hadn't even met them yet. And I'm going to give you all a free hot dog, so there's 4, right? I can't beat that. Professional groups, industry conferences. I'm going to a conference later this week on accreditation, and one of the things I hope to do, it's hard to ask my accreditation team a lot of questions. If I ask too much, I don't want to expose some of the things going on that I need to fix. I need a dean at another school who's not coming to critique us, but just as a little bit of a sounding board. So that's one of my objectives when I go this weekend, is to find somebody else who can help me. We have a wonderful president and a wonderful provost, but their backgrounds are chemistry and clinical speech and audiology. Their business background is a bit limited. So I need somebody sort of that I can brainstorm with peer to peer. So sometimes that's really important, and I don't have that here. So that's what I'm looking for. All right, fish where the fish are. Duh, you knew that already, right? Grab them on the airplane. I had a former student who was a flight attendant, and she worked first class because she had moved up in her career, and she'd been there a little while. She met the most executives. She said, I don't think I can quit this job and get a real job because I get to fly for free. I'm on my way to Paris now, and I just sat by, and she left me a long list of who she'd seen on the plane. But that's a good idea, right? Fish where the fish are. Parties, civic functions, social events, classes. A lot of times in a class, particularly in a night class, you'll meet people from other business and industry settings, workshop, trade shows. I've met people in line, in bars and restaurants. Where else? Where else might you go? What did I leave off this list? Yeah, oh, I've met the most contacts, got the best electrician from the Rock in Ringgold. So yeah, the gym's a good place. Right, church, civic organizations, wherever. You can do networking. You can multitask at some of these events. All right, in person. So let's talk about, here are the steps we're going to talk about today. So let's talk about preparation first. Okay, name badge. Point to your right shoulder. Okay, come over here, Dalton. Where's Dalton's badge? Not where the polo man is, but the other side. Why? Because most people are right-handed, or they're going to shake with their right hand, aren't they? So when I go up to Dalton, look, I'm right at his right shoulder. We're almost in an angle. I can see his name tag. Hi, I'm Marilyn Helms.
Dalton Hegwood.
Dalton, nice to meet you. So the right shoulder is where that goes, if you forget that. Okay, we'll have a name badge for you next week. Remind me, okay? And put that in plain view. Use a Sharpie and write dark and clear and write your first name bigger, the name you want to be called, the name that is on your resume. Why you got to write dark and clear? Excellent. Why do they need to read it? And then?
Give you a job.
Call you, give you money, right? Got it, check. I love Capitalist, my favorite group. Okay. Know your goals. Why are you there? In this case, you're just meeting and greeting, but you want to tell them, hey, graduating in a year, this is my major, here are my interests, your company sounds great. Start the conversation, okay? Do you have an elevator pitch? Much like in your entrepreneurship class, when you get on an elevator, what is your elevator pitch? You know, I work for Starbucks, we make coffee, we sell it for $3, it costs us 3 cents to make it, and if you don't have a cup every day, you'll get a bad headache, right? That's a good elevator pitch for Starbucks. What's yours? Don't say, hello, I'm Dalton Hegwood, I'm a student majoring in. Not so much of that. What's your major?
Business administration. Logistics.
Thank you. Okay, I'm a logistics and supply chain major. I've worked at our family's auto shop. I've kept up with the inventory. I'm excited to use these skills in the world of business, to use my inventory management skills to save you money and improve the quality, security, and availability of your inventory. Okay, that may be Dalton's pitch as he goes in the elevator. So have a real short one, and then have about a 3-minute and practice with those. You did some of these in business communications, right? You worked on a pitch. Dust those back off and look at it again. Watch for too many eyes. Be ready to meet anybody. Sometimes in Dalton, you may be eating in your favorite sandwich shop next to a Fortune 500 CEO or a retired titan of industry, and they may not be dressed in a business suit, so they still may be rich, right? So don't judge by clothes, by appearance. I mean, everybody might be a good potential network for you. Don't discriminate on their clothing. Even though I've pushed that you need to look the part, it goes the other way in this case. So people may not dress up after they retire, but they still may be billionaires, right? Okay. Terminology of your field. So it'd be helpful if Dalton could quickly say, I'm a logistics and supply chain management major, right? Not stumble over that part. If it's somebody outside your field, outside the field of business, you may have to use some different words. Sometimes we talk too much in acronyms, those 3- and 4-letter abbreviations, and it's off-putting to people. I serve on the board of Memorial Hospital, and I want you to know I don't learn much at the board meetings. I learn it when I go home because I'm writing down every acronym. Healthcare, I like it. It's run like a business, but I don't know any of those words. I don't know the medical terminology, so I'm just jotting down and go home to try to figure out that. And every time we have a board critique, I write down, wish you would say what these acronyms are, because there are a lot of people on this board that are like me that don't come from a healthcare background. I would probably do the same to them if they came to a School of Business meeting where we're talking LSCM, MIS, MNGT kind of things. Hey, Dalton, bring your business cards. Have you still got some for business communication? Dust those off. If you don't, Go to Office Depot, Staples, grab you some of those card stocks to make your own business cards. The Dalton State logos on the Dalton State website at Marketing and Communication, you can grab that. You need to have something to give, and even though we've all gone electronic, we still seem to have hung on to business cards for some reason. That's just a paper legacy of our profession, but grab your business cards. Make notes on the back. So if I meet something at an event, I write the date. What do I write? Lady puts them in the computer for me. What do I write on them? Who I talked to, what the meeting was about, what sort of follow-up I need to do. And then when I get back to the office, it goes in Outlook, so I know who I met, so I can search Outlook. Do I know anybody at Tarkett Flooring? Who was that I met? Okay? You know what goes on the business cards, your title. In this case, you may just put student, Dalton State. Put, instead of a website, unless you have a link to an e-portfolio like we talked about, to your Dropbox or Google Drive, I'd go ahead and put your LinkedIn URL to get to that. Okay? All right, keep your hands free. Wear comfortable shoes as much as possible. Check your coat. I don't think it's going to be cold next week, but if it is, leave the coat in the car. Surely just running in for the door. You don't want to be a bag lady or bag man, right? Carrying all your groceries, packages, briefcase in with you. That one I put up because of my evil husband always wanting to eat something. Have a snack before you go. Even if they're going to feed you, you need to be networking. I say don't eat or drink. Sometimes it's really nasty. You end up talking with your mouth full even though you don't mean to. No texting, no cell phone. Smile and make initial eye contact. Approach them, give them the best handshake. Okay? Okay, we're going to practice an introduction. Okay, I'm going to say the name clearly, the title, the company, and there's your elevator pitch. Oh, poor Dalton. Hi, Marilyn Helms.
Dalton Hegwood. I'm
No uhs.
I'm,
All right, eye contact and pump twice. There you go. Nice to meet you, Dalton.
Nice to meet you. Then I'll tell you what I do.
I need to know that desperately.
All right.
Hi, Marilyn Helms.
Dalton Hegwood.
Nice to meet you, Dalton.
I'm a logistics and supply chain management
Major
major
at Dalton
at
State.
Dalton State.
Currently I work,
At Hegwood Auto Parts.
and
in
I,
Knoxville, Georgia.
and I.
I'm a lead mechanic.
Okay, and what do you do logistics related?
Nothing really there, but I mean,
Do you organize?
yeah,
Do you plan? Do you schedule? Do you train others?
not really.
And this is a family business?
Yeah.
Okay, and you're ready to do what now?
Moved to a different job.
Doing
Something in logistics.
transportation, distribution,
No.
warehousing?
Transportation.
Okay. You be me and I'm going to be you, okay? Hi, I'm Dalton Hegwood.
Marilyn Helms.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm a logistics major at Dalton State. I'm about to graduate. I work at our family auto parts and repair shop in Rossville, and I manage a lot of the repair process, but I'm so excited about distribution. That's my passion, so I'm interested in learning more about that, job shadowing, and hopefully finding a job in distribution.
Thank you.
Tell me about you.
I am a
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. All right. Good? That's what you want to do. So you may have to interview each other so you get those bullet points for what to say. But really quickly, hey, I run a family business. Worst case, you get a customer out of this interaction. Oh my goodness, my radiator's leaking. Can I bring it to you, right? He may just get a business customer, but he's got a lot of powerful things to say in his story. His family is entrepreneurial. I suspect that rubbed off on him. He's a hard worker. I already know he's working his way through college while he's a student. That's pretty darned impressive. He's logistics. He likes warehousing. So if you like warehousing, that tells me he's organized, right? He likes to keep up with inventory. He's meticulous. He's detailed-oriented. I know a lot from just those 3 sentences we kind of made up about Dalton. So get your story carefully crafted, because that's what you're going to do when you practice your introductions, okay? Name really clearly. All right, you get up. Think about your elevator pitch for 2 seconds. All right, and get up and introduce yourself to 2 people beside you. Dalton, you go back in the audience. I'm going to go to. And let's hear their elevator pitch. Eye contact, go for the web, pump twice, say the name slowly, space between first and last name. Hey, I'm Marilyn Helms from Dalton State. Go to the web. Let's go to the web. All right, you're looking at me.
Okay.
Pump
Hi.
twice. Hi.
I'm Maria Montejano. I'm an accounting major. I've worked for 17 years for the Dalton Police Department.
Oh, wow.
To go into the accounting field.
Oh, excellent. Nice to meet you, Maria. Say that last name just a little bit slower. It's long.
Yeah.
I got to get it right.
Okay.
Montejano. Okay, very good. Hi, Marilyn Helms from, we're going for the web. Hi, I'm Marilyn Helms from Dalton State. No, you wait till I finish, okay? Let's go again, Isaac.
Anyways, all right.
Hi, I'm Marilyn Helms from Dalton State.
Hello, I'm Isaac Sanchez. Currently, I'm a finance student here at Dalton State.
Oh,
I'm interested in doing financial analyst.
I'm interested in, a financial analyst position is really exciting to me because I love numbers, patterns.
Because I want a job.
There you go. No. It's what you can do for them. Okay. You're nervous. It's okay. We're all nervous. It's okay. Practice again. Introduce yourself to Maria. Possibly, yeah, you won't be sitting on the table. I wish. How'd we do? Pretty good? Pretty good? Okay. All right. Very good. Very good. Okay, how'd we do? Getting better? Guess how you get better at this? Guess how? Do it more. I know it, till it becomes second nature. Okay, what about if you're the first time alone at a conference? Be ready to talk about yourself, open to possibilities. People are always willing to give advice, and guess what? You're in a great position. You're a student, so ask them about themselves. I will graduate in a year. I'm really curious, though, what were your keys to success in your business, in your industry? People love to talk about themselves, so if you can segue and get them talking, continue to make that eye contact, you may have made a very good connection there. Okay, at a conference, if you want somebody to talk to, seek out somebody alone. Why? So they can talk to you, and they're lonely, so they may be happy or they may seem alone, right? They're happy to have you join them and talk to them, okay? What can you talk about? Try not to say yes, no. Do you like your job as Isaac, a financial analyst? If you ask somebody that, they're going to say yes or no. So you have to say, tell me what the best aspects are of being a financial analyst. Why were you attracted to this field? So they have to talk just a little bit, okay? How do you know the host? Why did you come to this event? If you know nothing to talk to them about, and then shut up. Leave a little silence. It takes people a little bit to answer. Don't be uncomfortable with the silence while they're thinking. If they're thinking, hopefully they're trying to put a nice answer together for you. Did you like the keynote speaker? So those are some just general things you can talk about. Don't just talk about yourself. Participate in the discussion. And you don't just answer with one or two words. I'm a logistics major. I chose logistics because I really like warehousing. I have a lot of experience with managing inventory in our family auto repair business. Okay. Be shameless, wallflowers. You can't stand against the wall, right? Now, you're going to join a group. There's a group in process. You want to meet them. That's a little scary. You got to go up. You got to come in. Just charge on in. You're the bull. Hi, may I join you? Then introduce yourself to the group. Hopefully they'll start back the conversation, or you could say, I couldn't help but overhearing you were talking about the keynote speaker today. May I join you? I'm so interested in your thoughts. There you go. Listen. You can always talk about kids, pets, current events. People love to talk about the weather. They love to talk about sports. Leave out religion, politics, or detail medical procedures. They usually cause people to run screaming from the room. Be personable, right? Get the business card. You've joined them for a little while. Wow, I didn't know you were an accountant too. I'm really interested in the accounting field. Do you mind if we exchange cards? Get their cards for later. This gets easier. It's back to being your dog. Be curious, look them in the eye, listen, nod, thank them. Not over, okay, not over crazy nodding. Okay, say thank you. Use their names. How do you know their names? It's on the, yeah, and what shoulder did you point to? Maria. There you go. Maria knows it's on the right shoulder. All right, Dalton. Listen, active listening. So now here's what you don't want to do. So I'm over here just talking away with Dalton. We're having the best time. But oh my gosh, I see Isaac Sanchez is in the room. And I'm sort of, you be here. You come here. So I'm talking to Dalton. You just blah, blah. But I'm not listening to Dalton at all, am I? I see Isaac, and I know Isaac's really who I want to talk to because he's rich and distinguished in his field. Now, how nice is this to Dalton? I may leave today and my radiator really may blow up, and I really needed Dalton more than I needed Isaac. Maybe I can talk to them both. So I've talked with Dalton. Wow, that's interesting. Let's exchange cards. We do the little card exchange, and I'd say, I'd love to talk with you, but there's a couple of people here at the conference I still need to meet. Let's remember to keep in touch. Okay. So I exit gracefully. Wasn't that a bit of a nicer exit? Then I go seek out Isaac. And if there's somebody more important than Isaac, I do that there won't be, right? But if there were to be, I'll do the same thing and I'll go join another group, okay? Don't scan the room while you're in a conversation. That is very, very rude to look for somebody. I mean, you're looking for a titan of industry. That's kind of rude, okay? Okay. We're going to play, we're going out in the hall, we're going to leave our stuff in here, it'll be fine, we'll watch it. All right, when you are talking, you're going to be nervous, so you're going to be doing this rocking back and forth on your feet. What I would say do, put one foot in front of the other, your arms stand a little bit more relaxed. And remember, this usually means I'm cold, not that I hate you, but don't cross your arms. That's very negative. We want an open stance, we want to stand, I know, we want to stand up straight, chest out, stomach in. Keys, gentlemen, y'all are bad. Y'all are worse than the women, but any keys, any change in your pocket, you'll get nervous and you'll put your hands in the pocket and you'll rattle those. We will leave those in the car. Yeah, I know. Why? Not the key to the car, but don't put the keys where you're going to be rattling them and messing with them in your pocket. Good grammar, project confidence, use your body language. What else? Let's see what else. Okay, let's get up. So here's what I want you to do. I'm going to put you in a couple of small groups. I want you to start talking. Then I'm going to point to some of you to leave and join another group. We're going to practice shaking hands, eye contact, and the elevator pitch before next week when it matters just a little. All right, come with me. We'll come right back in here. We'll watch our stuff. Okay, so we got the whole space. You can sit. You can sit at a table. You can sit at a bench. You can sit here. You can stand. Come on, quickly, quickly. All right, form a couple of groups. Stand together or sit. All right, stand or sit. Come on, quickly. Okay, and some of you come over here. This hardly looks like y'all are talking to each other.